Hello everybody, how are you? I thought I'd just point at these gorgeous flowers. They're just absolutely beautiful. So the question today is, why are they not into you? Why are they not really keen? Why are they not, really sure about your connection? What is it that they don't actually like about you? What is it that's kind of putting them off? So it's quite an unusual reading, and I'm going to have to use all my skills today to do that. So while I'm doing that, just before, I'm just going to turn this down so you can see the cards. Just bear with me, I'll just pop it over there. Whoops. There we go. Is that okay? Yeah, that should be okay. Let's just move that around a little bit, like this. So you can see the cards while I'm chatting, because what I'm going to do, I'll just pop that up there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a quick relationship help, a few minutes. If you don't want to listen to it, then feel free to jump onto the timestamp and go to your cards. That's pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3, which you can have a look at while I'm chatting. So relationship help is, maybe you were together and it all seemed like it was going really great, and then suddenly they just went cold on you and left you, basically, or walked out of the relationship or whatever. So the reason I'm doing this is because I was in a narcissist help group, okay, which I really enjoy reading some of the posts, although the groups can be full of women who are so angry, it can be quite negative, so I only just dip in and out. But this woman said, hey, look, I've been with my person for a year and a half, we've seen each other every single day, he's just left. He's just left the relationship, doesn't want to talk to me, doesn't want to speak to me, doesn't want anything with me, So we've all maybe heard of someone that's been through this. So what relationship coaches are saying is that although it appears out of the blue, it never is. Or it's very rarely that someone's really, really happy and then they wake up in the morning and they just go, oh, I don't like this anymore. Okay, it's generally like a stepping stone, like maybe they're not sure about something and then it happens again, or there's a dynamic in your relationship that they haven't actually spoken to you about, and they're progressively feeling unhappy in the connection, because people don't leave connections they're happy with, okay? So, but their unhappiness might be misguided happiness. It might be, I want to go out and play the field, or I want to have more control in this relationship or this connection, or I don't feel like my needs are being met, although their needs might not be reasonable. Okay, so there's lots of dynamics there. Or someone might not actually be into you that much, and they maybe didn't realise, and then something happens, I don't know, family event, or you've had a discussion or a viewpoint on something, and they're like, oh my God, I'm really miles apart from this person, all right? And breakups are generally never easy. This is what the relationship coaches are saying. This person has made a decision probably quite a while before they actually break up with you, all right, which is heartbreaking, I know, and they just haven't carried it out. And they're not easy, and even if someone's not really into you, it's still very hard sometimes for people to break up with you. So now obviously it's become fashionable, we can just ghost people, we can walk away, we can block them on social media. So this has been a great way for people to exit a relationship. But I suppose the saving grace is that when people exit relationship, they're maybe 99% sure they want to leave, but then generally never 100% sure. Okay, so there's always an opportunity to reconcile. But I do remember, if I could just briefly tell you a story, I remember when I was younger, my boyfriend had a flatmate, and he was a real cute looking guy, and he was dating this girl who was quite what we would call a plain Jane, you know, and they were obviously different levels in attractiveness, which has no bearing on, you know, the actual person themselves. But, you know, and they had been dating for quite a long time, and he seemed really happy with her, all right, and she worshipped him, she adored him. And what happened is this guy, one of his ex-girlfriends, came back. She had been travelling abroad for a long time, or lived abroad. She came back and she was like a bombshell, right? And I always remember that night, it was so sad. He dumped this plain Jane type girl. And I remember hearing her, oh my God, it makes me so sad now. I was really young at the time. I remember her sobbing in the bathroom, just absolutely heartbroken. And you know, and he never went back to that girl, as far as I know. You know, his ex came in, you know, she was a bombshell, and he went full in for this new girlfriend, and the other girlfriend was dust. That's the story as I saw it. Now, I don't know if something transpired 20 years later, I don't know. But, you know, sometimes that happens as well. Okay, so, but it's generally never out of the blue. It's generally slow steps. And what feels to you like it's just happened and you don't understand it is because they haven't been revealing their feelings along the way. So I just wanted to do that quick intro. So I hope that's okay. I'm just looking at the time here. Okay. All right. So let's dig in here. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. What is it? Why are they not into you? You know, why? What's off-putting for them? You know, why are they not so keen? Why are they not feeling the connection with you? You know, what's wrong in their eyes? So this is going to be quite challenging. So let's go for pile 1, and I'll put pile 2 and 3 there. So let's go for pile 1. And just a reminder that I've got lots of Etsy. I've updated all my personal reading prices on Etsy, so you can go and have a look with that. And I love doing your personal readings, absolutely love them. And the 6-card spread, which is £20, is exactly the same as this. You've actually got 7 cards in here. Okay, so let me dig in here, because I've really got to read in a different way. You know, what's wrong? Why are they not into you? You know, what's wrong with the connection as far as they're concerned? So I'm going to have to go very intuitively with this. Well, first of all, what I see down here is that they love having anonymous hookups. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. And they have a lot of secret emotions wrapped up with these hookups. Now, generally this means, you know, there is no emotion in this, but I do feel like this energy here is like this person's maybe going in and out of connections, and you know, and there is some emotions wrapped up there, but they sort of bury it quite deep, and I feel like they get into a romantic sort of vibe as well. That's what I'm feeling. So it could be that, you know, you've met someone and they already had a pattern going on with themselves here, okay, or a sexual pattern already going on here. So, and what they didn't like about you was that, or that they couldn't grasp it, I think, is your romantic stepping forward, you know, that you were very romantic, And I feel like they felt like, even if you didn't verbalize it, that you were really into them, that you really fancied them, that you potentially were in love with them. Because this message in a bottle, maybe your text messaging and stuff was over romantic. Yeah, I'm really feeling this. Really feeling that they felt like you were in love with them and they didn't like it. I think they liked it from an ego standpoint, but they weren't ready for that amount of interest in them, or those sort of emotions, or that romantic essence. They weren't ready for that. And there was something about finances here. What they didn't, or they weren't keen about you, was something to do with your finances. Now, this is really weird, because I just said that you were really romantic and stuff like that. Or maybe they felt like you kept offering them a cup of love. You know, you kept offering them love all the time, and they're really more interested in this sort of thing down here. But on another side, they felt that you kept your emotions away from them. So I feel like they knew that you were in love with them, and you kept offering the cup of love. But in the same way, I feel like they felt you were cold, which is really strange, okay, or unapproachable in some way, or something like this. So one way you're loving them, and another way you're cold. So let me just sort of see if anything else comes out there. What they didn't like about you, I feel like, is the way that you presented yourself. Now, this is kind of weird, because I feel like they feel you presented yourself really, really well. In the way that you dressed, in your hair and stuff like that. But they didn't like it because they felt not threatened. Threatened's not the right word. Maybe they felt a little bit insecure about it, okay? Or maybe they just couldn't connect with your taste in clothes, your taste in lifestyle. See lifestyle here. Maybe they just couldn't connect with that. You know, that the way that you lived your life. I feel like they admired it in a way, because it's the 9 of Pentacles. But I feel like maybe they couldn't connect, or they couldn't see a future, you know, or felt like your lifestyles were very different. That it wasn't the way that they lived their life. I'm just thinking, like, if you're very fashionable and they're not very fashionable, or you like a high standard of something. This is a high standard card. You like a high standard of something, and it really wasn't something that it wasn't important to them. That's what I'm feeling. They could have felt, for some of you, they could have felt like you were a bit of a snob as well with this one. I feel like they could have thought you were a bit of a snob. They thought you were high maintenance. Okay, that means that everything had to be the best of the best all the time, sort of thing. So I do feel that energy, and I feel like now looking at this, I feel like you were a high value woman. So don't feel bad about, you know, keeping things, you know, at a high level. But I do feel like here it's kind of like you were like a serious contender. You know, you went into the relationship or the connection on a serious level, you know, with love and with and a high value person, which is great. And really what he was wanting was more, you know, something a bit more trashy. What he didn't like about you was your strength, okay? The way in which you could change things. Maybe he felt manipulated by you. For some of you, he might have felt manipulated, or that he was bending to your will in some way, and he was a bit like putty in your hands, that sort of thing. I think he just saw you as a very strong, independent woman. And I think while he loved those things, I think that he just wasn't sure. I'm hearing the word, I wish you'd just relax a little bit. You know, I wish you'd just chill out a little bit and just relax a bit. And I'm just feeling like your lifestyles just weren't connecting. It might have been that you were pushing too hard for a certain sort of lifestyle, or you didn't understand your point of view there. I feel also, I said that he had sort of, romantic connections down here. I feel like his version of romance is very different. I feel like yours was very real. I feel like he did have romantic feelings for you as well, or they had romantic feelings for you as well, but they couldn't really express them, or they felt uncomfortable with their romantic feelings. This is with this one. The secret here. I just feel like all this is very secret. That quite possibly is that for some of you, they could have been living a double life, because I'm seeing this is very secret here. And I feel like they felt you were cold. It's really strange. They felt you were cold. And this is lust, this is warmth, and they felt that you were cold. Maybe you were putting boundaries in with them. Maybe you were managing them in a way that they didn't expect, because they are the King of Wands, and they are sort of, it's fiery, they ignite passion and desire and creativity and stuff like that, and adventure and excitement. And I feel like you're much more steady and I was gonna say sturdy. You're much more steady, not so flighty. So yeah, I just feel like like if you went for coffee, you'd have like a chai latte with a ginger shot or something, and they'd just have like an espresso. It's that sort of thing. I feel like they felt you were a bit too embellished and wanted grandiose stuff all the time. Okay. For some of you, I feel like they think you cost them a fortune, or would have cost them a fortune. Tell me more about this. What was off-putting about them from their special persons? Tell me more about what was off-putting about them. What was off-putting about them? Oh, exactly what I've been saying. Wow. Unbelievable. So, exactly what I've been saying. You were the Empress, right? So the Empress is all the queens rolled into one. She is someone that maybe they think is out of their league, but they don't mind that you're out of their league, all right? But they're just like, wow, my God, but she is like marriage material. She's like, having children, she's all about commitment. And what do we get? We get the commitment card right next to this. This is all about, you can sort of relax a little bit, I think, because this is all about someone who wasn't ready to commit, right? And they just felt like the way that you approach things, you were overly romantic, you were overly serious about the connection from their perspective, and that you were sort of pushing for this. Even if you didn't mean to, that's the way that you came across. You weren't a fun time girl like down here, It's not that they didn't have fun with you or enjoy you. It's just that you weren't this type of girl where they're maybe more used to that, that sort of more casual thing, and then the girl goes a bit crazy and they have wild sex, and and then she's out with a picture and she's texting and phoning him 24/7, and making them jealous and gone on to the next person. You're just like this elegant Empress, and I feel like you really shook them up in a big way. And I feel like they do have secret emotions for, I feel like you really shook them up. And I feel like it's almost like, if I'm going to be with her, I have to commit to her. Otherwise, I'm not going to be with her. But then they're kind of like, I don't even know if our lifestyles would fit together. It's that sort of feeling, I don't know if I can please her. I don't know if I have the ability to please her. I don't know if she has the ability to please me. I don't know if she's going to step into into my lifestyle. I feel like I'm almost hearing like, what would we talk about? What would we do long term? Those sort of questions. She doesn't fit into my life. I've got a pattern here. I like this pattern. This is what I do over here. Yeah, and I just feel like you really shook them up in a big way. A really, really big way with those two cards there. I mean, they might have got to the point where they were like, shit, you know, like, I need to marry this person. You know, in order to keep her or whatever, I need to marry her. You know, it could have been that sort of thing. This is you're kind of a no-nonsense girl. Not that you're saying, don't muck me about, It's just your presence, the way that you are. These are two very high-value women here. There's something about your finances as well. I feel like they feel you were tight with your finances. I don't feel like they thought you were poor. I feel like they felt you were tight and that you wanted to keep your finances to yourself. And I feel like they feel it was really, really important, and they didn't like that aspect of you. So let's just see about, you know, if they're still feeling this, you know, sort of like, would there be any way around these feelings? You know, is this person I was kind of sort of asking, like, okay, they feel all this about you. You guys are not in contact, you know, they've walked away, but like, do they feel there's a way around it, around all this? They have the super hots for you. I mean, they really, really do. With this 9 of Cups, they really, really, really have the super hots for you. Let's just check the time here. Yeah, really have the super hots for you. So I feel with this, there is a possibility of things, despite all this, I feel like they desire you, they want you. Okay, they just, it's not like, oh, they just weren't ready for a commitment. I feel like they really, really, it was a really, really big problem. A really, really big problem in their life. Okay, not just like, oh, I can't be bothered with this girl. I think it was like a real, something that they struggled with, you know, and felt really uncomfortable with it and really, really didn't like it at all. And it might have been that when you did certain things or said certain things, they might have just been like, oh God, like here she goes again. Do you know what I mean? You know, she's trying to dig into my heart. She's trying to dig into my soul psyche. She's trying to dig into my soul, and I don't want to go down there. This is really interesting. So what I want to do is, if anyone's interested in the extended, is find out why they're still desiring you if they've just been like super negative on this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I hope that helped. And for anybody who's jumped into love, as Susan Winter would say, Susan Winter's on the link in the relationship of in the relationship section of the description. She says, and I love it, just pat yourself on the back that you've been brave enough to love, okay, and to step out and be loved, even if it doesn't always work out. Okay, so please join me in the extended, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper into what's really going on here. Thank you so much, and ciao from Italy. Ciao, ciao.